Gumzu is a very skilled auto mechanic, but don't let her fool you. In reality, she's such a heavy drinker that she often forgets her way home. She's just like those guys on the street near my house who, after getting drunk, start acting crazy. Her fiancé called her 20 times, but she didn't even bother to answer. Until the next day, Gumzu's fiancé asked her whether she would choose alcohol or him. She bluntly replied that she would rather choose alcohol than him. As for their wedding, she said to consider it as if it never happened. At noon, Gumzu's mother brought some rice cakes from her hometown for her son-in-law. She said she wanted to share some gifts with his colleagues. But she received shocking news. Gumzu, due to her alcohol addiction, chose to break up with her handsome and talented husband. So, she decided to rush back to her daughter's house to give her a lesson on why she would break up with someone who has a career, looks, and talent like that fiancé. Gumzu said how could she marry someone who doesn't let her enjoy alcohol? When they were in love, he kept saying he liked her because she was good at drinking. Now, they're breaking up because of her heavy drinking. How can I live my whole life with someone who doesn't indulge me? After hearing that, the mother also suffered from neck and shoulder pain, to the point that when she got home, she kept trying to persuade her son-in-law to get back with her daughter. Hearing the door open, she thought her son-in-law was back, but it was just her useless daughter. Gumzu's mother scolded her. Do you even have the mood to eat right now? Why did you cancel the wedding with your fiancé? Gumzu said she only has alcohol and work now. Just as she mentioned work, a message from the company's HR department came in. It turned out that Gumzu had requested a long leave of absence to relax. The company took this opportunity to recruit someone else to replace her, so her position was essentially cut, meaning she was also fired. Because of this, Gumzu decided to return to her hometown with her mother. Even the apartment she bought with her soon-to-be husband was put up for sale. Her mother kept complaining about how she would face people back home. When people ask, are we supposed to say our daughter gave up her husband because of alcohol? Let's just disown each other. At a red light, Gumzu suddenly saw a familiar face that looked like her first love. Turns out this guy, just like Gumzu, moved back to his hometown, but not because of alcohol addiction. It's just because of his grandmother's will that Waijin came back here to work as a doctor. Every time he goes for an examination, people ask him to help pull up radishes because the old woman's back isn't very good. As for Gumzu and her mother, after returning to Pochin County, as soon as they got back, they saw her father and sister eating and drinking. With two alcoholics in the house, Gumzu's mother got angry and picked up the bottle and smashed it. So the father, who was just eating rice at home, got caught in the crossfire. It turns out that since Gumzu was a child, her father has taken her out drinking to get her used to alcohol. Her mother's life has been very tiring many times after drinking. This house seems to know nothing but causing trouble. At this time, her mother was so upset that she said to her father, "Do you know she broke up with him because of alcohol?" The father thought someone broke up with his daughter, but it turned out his daughter broke up with him. Truly Dad's little drunkard. Because she was so fed up with her daughter, her mother, by the afternoon. While making kimchi, she gossiped about this with the neighborhood ladies. All the ladies loved to gossip. When asked for a deeper reason, Gumzu's mother didn't want to say anymore and went home. Couldn't hide it until Gumzu took her two nieces and nephews out to play. Her younger sister called to ask, and Gumzu told her that she broke up with her fiancé because of alcohol. Unexpectedly, the neighborhood lady who was talking to her mother earlier was also here. So when she got home, she was beaten by her mother in a fight. A proper daughter would never admit that she broke up because of alcohol addiction. Too annoyed, Gumzu decided to leave the house and go out. Somehow, the neighbor lady had only heard the news a short time ago. Now everyone in town knows that Gumzu is a divorcee because of alcohol. Indeed, the speed of spreading news of these neighborhood ladies is even faster than the speed of abandoning children of Onrach. At her friend's house, Gumzu said she didn't know why the news about her breaking up because of alcohol spread so quickly. Her old classmate said that Zbom's mother is the broadcasting speaker of the ward. Not to mention she has many chat groups with people in the village, so it's no wonder the news spread so quickly. Suddenly, Gumzu wondered where another friend was. Going outside, she saw the fat friend struggling to fix a car. Not knowing how to fix it made Gumzu's skills itch. After all, she is a talented engineer in the city, so she can fix this car in no time. When she finished repairing it, the fat friend called the car owner, making Gumzu wonder if the two of them are very close. Asking, she found out that the car owner is her first love. Waijin, the tall and intelligent friend, said he didn't know why Waijin moved back here to work as a doctor. A year ago, Bochuan Ward didn't have a proper medical facility. Waijin's return here made him praised like a king. Currently, he is called the Saint CEO of Bochuan. Hearing about Waijin's return made Gumzu a little surprised. He doesn't know that I broke up because of alcohol, does he? The fat friend was wondering why they used to be close but now they are strangers, so she left. I have to tell about that year when I was in high school. When she got home, Gumzu discovered that the transfer student had a broken bicycle chain. Wanting to show off her talents to her new friend, Gumza asked for permission to wield her profession. She introduced herself as a talented young repairman since she was a child. This can be fixed in 3 minutes. She hadn't even finished reminiscing when she ran into her first love from that time. Weijin also knew that she was getting married, so he planned to congratulate her, thinking he was mocking her for breaking up after getting married. So the two had an unhappy reunion. Gumza said, "We are not in a relationship to ask about the situation or private matters. If we meet often in the future, don't pretend to know each other." As soon as she put the bag on her shoulder, things fell out. Because she had refused him, Weijin didn't bother to help, letting Gumza pick up her own things alone, even though he said he didn't want to care. It seems that Weijin really cares about his first love, him home. To console his daughter, Dad Rongsu said, "Grilled meat has to be eaten with soju, right? The good thing is that the 4 of us are all the same." So she didn't hesitate to show her skills to become a professional in the industry with her sister and father. Every year, I don't know when Mom stood behind and angrily cleared all the food. In the evening, because she was so frustrated with being constantly reminded about the breakups. Gumza couldn't sleep, so she went to the living room and met her mother. Her mother was also very upset and asked why she had to break up with such a great son-in-law. "Think about how hurt he must be because of you." But Gumza didn't care and left, ignoring her mother's anger and scolding in the house. Reaching the lakeside, Gumza smiled bitterly and remembered that day. "When I just came back from work, I found my husband going to a convenience store to buy a pregnancy test kit." She followed her husband and discovered that her fiancé had a lover outside. That's why Gumzu has always turned to alcohol to forget that painful reality. Now she can comfortably enjoy her happy single life without much worry. After just arriving home, for some reason Gumzu was dragged to the temple by her mother. She asked the monk to place a tile with Gumzu's name on it for her. Then she planned to give the monk 1,000,000 won to pray for her daughter to quit drinking. Unexpectedly, Gumza grabbed the phone and didn't let her mother do that. While running down, she almost avoided the tree. Because of this, she rolled around several times, making her mother worried and running after her. "I don't intend to quit drinking, so you can leave on your own." Coincidentally, her first love, Weijin, was also here and saw Gumzu limping away after sitting with this friend. Gumza's mother also wondered why the two of them used to be so close, but now they are like strangers. Weijin said, "You have to tell who started it first." After returning home and not seeing Gumzu anywhere, Mom told Hondu to call her younger sister and see where she is. Gumza received a call from her sister and thought that she wouldn't be at peace even if she went home. "Well, it's okay to sit here and enjoy the view." In the evening, the two Song-ung brothers were eating grilled meat when Weijin came to join in the fun. Seeing these two brothers calling him over to watch them argue, Weijin didn't feel like eating anymore and planned to leave. "That Song-ung said Gumza was here too, doesn't it bother you?" Weijin didn't know Gumza was here until she returned to the Song-ung brothers' door. Standing outside, she could hear the two brothers badmouthing her about the broken engagement. How can they be so childish? Weijin immediately countered that she is not like that. Gumza also has a mature side. These words made her try to admire herself again in the mirror. What a mess, there is no adult side at all. Hearing Weijin say, "If we meet again, I think she will be much more mature than now," making Gumzu even sadder as she went to drink alcohol alone in a taxi. She also wants to become a better person, but only when thinking back to the past. Gumza has tried to be stronger on the outside, but she sat and cried alone. She didn't want to go through things she didn't want. Meanwhile, at Gumza's house, everyone is together to do the death anniversary ceremony for her grandfather. Her mother blames everyone for causing her daughter to become a drunkard. "I know she is not a thoughtless person, so she will definitely give up alcohol." Just as she finished speaking, Gumzu appeared in a taxi, making everyone cover their faces, shake their heads and sigh in resignation. Her sister asked her why she showed up drunk like this, making Gumza surprised. "Oh my god, grandfather loves alcohol so much." She knelt down to offer her grandfather a drink, making everyone try to stop her. How can they stop the beloved granddaughter from offering her grandfather a cup? Gumza's mother is so tired of the sight of her holding a bottle of alcohol. Driven to the edge, she opened the bottle and poured it on everyone, making the kind grandfather smile happily. Gumzu's mother said, "It's Dad's right." Then she grabbed the bottle and beat Gumzu half to death during grandfather's ceremony. Until she woke up again, she found herself lying at Ui Dun's house from who knows when, returning to the scene of that year. When Gumzu said she could fix Ui Dun's bicycle in just 3 minutes, who knew it would take her from afternoon to evening? Making Ui Dun laugh and call her the Buchuan fool. He Galing wiped the oil off her face, and Gumzu made a face as if she wanted to kiss him. So he immediately told them to go home, but because her car was also badly damaged. So the two tried to fix the bicycle together and went home together. After being beaten by her mother in front of her grandfather's death anniversary ceremony, Gumza sadly left home in a drunken state. Seeing a lakeside, she curiously approached to take a look, and was seen by Z-Bomb's neighbor lady. Just as she was about to call Gumzu, her son called, making her forget to call her. So the next day, the whole village was in an uproar because the scene only had Gumza's slipper next to the lake. Her parents cried and wailed, saying they shouldn't have scolded their daughter. Everyone was sad and worried, not knowing that Gumza had woken up at Wyjin house at some point. When Gumza asked why she was there, she had to recount the events of the previous night. Because she went near the lake, Gumza still had to act like a dog. She went down to the lake to wash and somehow kicked her sandal into the lake. Ignoring the lost sandal, she continued on her way like a lost soul, causing Wyjin, who was on his way home, to almost send her to the other world. Seeing Gumzu unconscious, he brought her home, but she wanted to be Spider-Man and cling to the wall. After taking her to his favorite chair, it got too hot, so Gumza took off her outer coat. That's why Gumzu ended up at Wyjin house in the morning. Also because of Gumzu, Wyjin had to bandage his own leg and examine himself at home. Feeling a bit guilty, she offered to fix his car because she is a talented engineer. Just then, Shiwen Yusi called to inform Wyjin that Gumzu has fallen into the lake and died, according to the rumor. So while everyone was diving into the lake, Gumza's parents were saddened when she appeared like a ghost in July and called out to her parents. Her father asked, "Are you still alive?" "Yes, alive and kicking, it's truly payback time." Her father then asked where she was last night. Gumza said, "It's good that I'm alive, isn't it? What does it matter where I was last night?" Suddenly, Gumza's mother stood up. "You live and he'll go die," making the two rush to stop her. "I have to die, I'd rather die than have this ungrateful daughter. She's not done yet." When Wyjin was picked up by his friend Zoan Yusi to go to work, he was caught by the neighbor lady, Devised mother, who saw his leg injury. Sure enough, a new rumor spread that Gumza drove drunk and broke Wyjin leg, spreading faster than the speed of light. So while Gumza was repairing the car for Wyjin, she was blamed for breaking Wyjin leg. "She must quit drinking soon," Gumza angrily said. "It'll stop when I break Bachin's bridge." Sonong appeared and said, "You can mess with anyone but not with the Saint CEO of Buchwin, you're done for." As soon as he finished speaking, Wyjin medical bill was sent. A total of 28 million won made Gumzu itch. Adding the car repair bill, it also costs a lot of money. So, to reduce the damage, Gumzu has no choice but to be Wyjin personal driver, taking him to see patients all over this village. At the nursing home, the neighbor lady asked Wyjin, "Now that your leg is hurt, how will you help me?" Wyjin said, "Don't worry, my friend will take care of everything, so, from doing odd jobs to anything they can do in this village. Gumzu has to work for free until she's exhausted, and she says she can't do it anymore. I won't do it anymore." She angrily asks what kind of house call this is with Wyjin, making everyone look. "Oh, I think house calls are really healthy and fun." Gumza turns to her first love and asks if he usually has to do this. "Are you taking revenge on me for breaking your car and leg?" Wyjin says if he wanted revenge, he would have sued a long time ago. "You have to learn to take responsibility for what you do." Gumzu looks curious. "Why would a good doctor in Seoul come here to be a Saint CEO?" He refuses to lose and says, "Then why would a good engineer from a Seoul corporation come here to do this?" Indeed, no one wants to give in until Gumzu gets tired and goes outside to rest. She remembers when she always had to work overtime hard but didn't get promoted. Her superiors said that her getting promoted early was already unprecedented. If she gets promoted again this time, there will surely be rumors. Not to mention she also has to go on maternity leave when she's about to get married. Who can fill in during that time? Because of those reasons, Gumza decided to quit her job at that unethical place and go home to tell her fiancé. Zuzup listens and confidently says, "Just quit, he'll support you." Indeed, men's words cannot be trusted. As for Gumza's mother over here, the shop owners apologize for misunderstanding and thinking Gumza committed suicide. However, everyone hopes her daughter won't steal the village's Saint CEO. Wang Ok slams the table angrily. "Do you think I'll leave you alone if you don't leave my daughter alone? It's all because of you people selling rice wine to my daughter." Wang Ok declares that from now on, if anyone sells alcohol to her family, she will cut off all investments as well as loans to the villagers. Don't even think about getting a cent because of this. Even her father goes home and blames her mother for not letting the villagers sell alcohol. We have to talk about that year when her first daughter got married quickly because of alcohol, resulting in a quick divorce and having to raise 2 children. After that, she only knows barley smoothie. As for her father, he's no different when he inherited his father's scrap metal workshop. Also because of barley smoothie, he burdened himself with debt. As a result, he lost all the assets his father left behind. Later, he rebuilt a hot pot and grill restaurant to develop, but he got even more drunk than the customers, leading to bankruptcy. Wang Ok declares, "If anyone in this Wuchuan dares to drink, I will deal with both the seller and the drinker." Indeed, the richest and most powerful person in Wuchuan village speaks up because of this. Ian Du can't buy barley smoothie anywhere. D-Bomb's mother blames her for breaking Saint Sio's precious leg with this kind of smoothie. Indeed, admirable, she angrily runs outside, and the people run when they see her. They even hang signs saying they don't sell fermented smoothies to the three Ian Du father and children. Weijin at this time also advises her to live up to her name, but Ian Du says he's the one who needs to quit drinking. Until she gets home, Ian Du learns from her old friend. It turns out Weijin has quit drinking a long time ago, making her feel shocked. We have to talk about 10 years ago. Yuai-dun was known as the god of alcohol who never gets drunk. Now that the god of alcohol has quit drinking, it's shocking for Gengdu, but I'm also curious about why he came back here. Zhang searched online and found news that there was an incident at Zhejiang Medical School. A person named Uzi was dumped by his fiancée, so he returned home. Turns out that person is Zhou Yuai-dun. Gengdu didn't think her first love would have such a tragic love story. Just like her, it's so unreasonable that it's coincidental. When she returned, she discovered Yuai-dun was at the lakeside where she used to bring him. She said it's the best place to relieve stress whenever she's sad. Because of this, it's like a common place for both of them to relieve stress. As for Father Zongsu, his drinking buddies have a cold-boiled octopus dish they want to invite him to. It's just that the lioness at home gave him instructions like a slap in the face, so he doesn't dare to drink. It's just that his two enthusiastic friends told him to drink a little. His wife won't know. So the father believed them and sat down to taste the dish, drank a little alcohol, and felt like it was just water after not drinking for so long. His two friends said, "That's right, it's just water. How dare I drink with you and have the financial road cut off? The money your wife gives you is more important than you drinking with me. Ha ha ha." Then the two chased each other. The friend didn't forget to tease, "Bet you can't catch me. There'll be a dog if I can't catch you." After returning home, the three fathers and children who haven't been able to quit for a few days can only look at the neighbors drinking and crave it often. And Gengdu asked her father, "Have you ever heard this saying? Life isn't about waiting for the storm to pass, it's about learning to dance in the rain." So the three fathers and children harmonized together, singing the song of the newly addicted alcoholics. Ms. Kwang Ok could only shake her head in despair. This house has gone crazy. Then Gengdu kept thinking about her first love story and couldn't sleep, so the next day she decided to treat Udui well. Cooking soup and making sandwiches using the excuse to nourish Udun, making him suspicious. "Did you spit or have a fly in the food? I only asked you to do a little and this is how you're taking revenge." I wonder what he had to go through. It's just that Ngengdu's concern is so excessive that it makes Udun doubt life and not dare to try anything. "Are you possessed by the work demon or did you just drink alcohol?" The neighbor lady on one side kept looking at Ngengdu with judgmental eyes. Suddenly, there was a phone call from the medical director of ASIN in Seoul. Udun still refuses the offer to work as a doctor in Seoul no matter how much he is invited. Meanwhile, the neighbor lady sitting next to her screamed, showing her cat-like martial arts to warn Ngengdu. "You are not allowed to have any intentions with our village's Tanzio. Otherwise, it'll let you know what a painful death is." Suddenly, this aunt's sugar daddy called, causing her to change her face faster than thin rice paper, hypocritically. "Hello, honey, I'm coming right now. That's really top-notch." Later, Ngengdu called Udun back and said she had something to say. "I know everything about you already. The reason why you quit your job in Seoul to come back here? It's just that while Gengdu was about to share about Yuai-dun's story, messages from two friends came. They said that the person in the medical school story that year wasn't Yuai-dun but someone else named Sol Gudu. It's just that it's too late because she already told Yuai-dun everything. Yuai-dun is wondering what it is, so he takes Gengdu's phone to see what event she's attributing to him. Meanwhile, Hondu over here goes to pick up her children at the martial arts school and her younger brother Xuan Yuci offers to take them home. It's just that after taking the two children for vaccinations, she whispers in her younger brother's ear, making the boy's face turn red and get goosebumps all over, plus a crush on someone who already has children. The woman next to her says it's a pity for Hondu, she used to be famous in the area. As for Gengdu, after helping Yuai-dun bring things home, she is told not to meddle in other people's business, making Gengdu remember the year when Yuai-dun left. She was also told the same thing as this time. Gengdu apologizes and says she will never cross the line again. Continuing to feel sorry for herself, Gengdu goes to the lakeside to blame herself. Did she want to be sad and come to this lakeside? She really wants to disappear. The next morning, when preparing to pick up her first love to go to work as usual, Gengdu receives news that her ex-husband's birthday cake is about to be delivered. She quickly jumps into a car and rushes to stop the anniversary cake before it's too late. and Zoan UC because of that has to pick up Ui Dun instead. He said that Gung Du already got into a car early, so I'm picking you up today. When stopping at a red light, Gung Du can't help but blame herself for being crazy and ordering the cake 3 months in advance and now having to cancel it. When she gets to the apartment and sees the delivery person, Gung Du uses all her strength to run up the stairs to chase after them. Thinking it's too late, but when she peeks out, the cake is still there, so Gung Du decides to dispose of it first. It's just that when she gets to the elevator, she immediately meets the mistress and the cheating bastard in front of her after the two of them sit together. Durat admits that he was drunk and unconscious at that time, so he had this child, but he blames Gung Du for liking alcohol so much. Then he tells her to choose alcohol or him. What a jerk. Gung Du says, "Weren't you going to say goodbye?" Making him surprised because he didn't expect Gung Du to know everything from before. She intended to keep her last bit of self-respect, but it's not possible anymore. After saying that, Gung Du takes the cake and smashes it right into her ex-husband's face. This kind of trash shouldn't be born, they should just die. Please live properly because you're about to be a father. Durat tells Gung Du to live properly. Don't get stabbed in the back like this again, always meddling in other people's business and crossing the line. These words officially drive Gung Du crazy. I've been holding back for so long. After saying that, she smashes the cake into the face of the jerk ex-husband, considering it a successful and thorough cutoff, but also because she is constantly being told that she crosses the line. She then drinks to relieve her sorrow in soul because she can't drink when she goes back home. I'll be there after I return. Coincidentally, Gung Du is caught by Xuan UC and Ui Dun, so it turns out you came to Seoul to drink. I was worried for nothing. And Gung Du said she had an unavoidable reason. But Ui Dun didn't believe her, saying it was just an excuse for her to drink. Xuan UC just kept advising her to be a good person and give up alcohol, but no one knows what our female lead has been through. All we know is that, suppressing her frustration, Du wants to be a decent person like everyone says, while Ui Dun. In fact, he hasn't quit drinking at all, and the article from that year at medical school is somewhat related to him. The reason he returned to his hometown is because he once caused someone to fall, and the incident related to the fall from the past makes it somewhat difficult for Ui Dun to sleep. Early in the morning, his uncle Song Ung saw Gung Du diligently repairing Ui Dun's car. To ask Ui Dun to lower the fee as compensation, he pretended to be sick and asked Ui Dun to examine him. He said he was having a stiff neck, but Ui Dun just said there's 50,000 won behind. Exposing this friend. Immediately seeing he was exposed, Song Ung kept begging Ui Dun, saying that he's seen Gung Du being quite hardworking these days and she has taken care of him wholeheartedly since a long time ago. Consider it repaying her kindness and reconcile. Back then, Ui Dun was just a boy, an orphan that everyone in town knew about. He only had his grandmother to rely on, but she also passed away and Gung Du was always right beside him like a family member. Back to the present, Ui Dun goes to the lakeside that they both used to relieve stress and meets Gung Du again. Gung Du thinks Ui Dun must be here to cut ties with her. However, she Songchuk explains that she really didn't go to Seoul just to drink yesterday, she just had some personal business. Believe it or not is up to you. Gung Du says she'll believe him this time, and in return, she should try to get tested for alcohol addiction. Feeling looked down upon, Gung Du yells, saying she can quit alcohol whenever she wants. But she's also curious why someone who's good at drinking like Ui Dun would give it up. The reason is simple. He says he's afraid of causing someone to have an accident like she caused him to have an accident. He also doesn't forget to remind Gung Du to come early tomorrow because he still has many places to examine. In the evening, while annoyed at being called an alcoholic, Gung Du receives a call from a colleague at her old company thinking they want to ask her about some techniques, but she's not willing to share. Turns out the colleague is calling because the head of department wants to ask about the place she used to go drinking. Although a bit embarrassed, for the sake of her pride, Gung Du doesn't bother to reveal it, saying she'll never reveal the good drinking spot, they can just wait. Just wait until I come back to work, I'll show you. While she's unemployed, her dad keeps calling and bragging to the neighbors that his daughter is a great engineer, saying they need someone here who doesn't run out of work for her to do, making Gung Du just smile awkwardly. The next day, while her younger brother Xuan UC is exercising, her older sister and the neighbor next door keep moaning about how much they want it, truly a specialty of Buchuan region. This makes the neighbor next door say she can't be wrong, but turns out Hon Du wants alcohol so much that she praised it. Making the neighbor who praised it earlier is actually praising Xuan UC for being so good, and younger brother Xuan UC, in order to express himself, immediately gets close to Hon Du and stretches her muscles. Taking advantage of the neighbor having something to do, the younger brother immediately asks if she wants to go to taekwondo practice at his place, but because she's busy taking care of 2 children, she immediately refuses. Suddenly, seeing the liquor store offering a 2-for-1 deal, he immediately comes up with a plan, which is to invite her to register her 2 children here and get a free practice course for her. That way he can officially meet the person he likes. Seeing Hongdu, Xiuan Yu's icy heart seems to be burning because he was hit by the arrow of love. Meanwhile, Gumdu is bored of having to watch Ui Jun examine patients. She went out to the Yat Lada stream bank, wondering why such a good doctor would come back here. Weijin appeared from behind, startling Gumzu just as she was about to go inside. She tripped on a rock, causing the scene from that year when the two of them hugged like this to come flooding back, so both of them shyly went inside. Also because of this, Gumzu was warned by the head nurse, "Do you dare use weak tricks to seduce our doctor? You're even imitating the female lead in romantic comedies." In the anti-group for these fake tricks being scolded made Gumzu not know why she had to endure this. In the evening, her younger brother Zoan Yusi drove sister Hongdu home and conveniently asked if she felt the stress was relieved after exercising. Seeing her nod, he was secretly happy that his efforts to relieve her tension were worth it. But for Hongdu, a roadside beer made her feel more worthwhile. "It's nice to have a little something in you after exercising," she said. Younger brother Zoan Yusi also thought she wanted to date. So one person wanted to date too much and the other wanted to drink a few too many cups all the way home. As for Gumzu on the side, she was annoyed that all the bad luck was coming to her. Suddenly, a refund message from the wedding with her ex-boyfriend was sent. Suddenly, she felt that the bad luck before wasn't worth mentioning. "Life with a little money, I have to spend it to have fun," she said as she headed home. Coincidentally, she met her sister and dad right outside the door. Every year, they still have to go through mom's check before they can safely sneak into the house. The next morning, seeing the three fathers and children so happy, Hong Ok also felt that this house was about to be sobered up. If these three fathers and children are always sober like this, wouldn't it be better? What she didn't know was that the night before, when Gumza got the money because she was too craving alcohol, she had invited her dad and sister to the next county to drink. Because today she was a millionaire, she told her dad and sister to let her take care of everything, so all three of them went all the way and went to karaoke until late at night before returning. The procedure before entering the house was to rinse their mouths, roll on deodorant, and spray perfume. That's why Hong Ok didn't know that these three fathers and children were hiding from her to drink in the next county. She brought this news to meet her sisters at the hospital and proudly said, "The three fathers and children in my house didn't have a drop of alcohol on them when they came home." The old ladies in the neighborhood regretted it because these three fathers and children were regular customers. After only a week off, the revenue decreased so much Hong Ok didn't care much and said, "On this happy occasion, I'll waive the contribution fee for you people." Gumzu, after repairing the car for Weijin, also brought it to him as if she had paid off her debt. Because she had a little money, she also took Weijin to the shopping center to buy him a few sets of clothes and also bought some for her two nephews. After walking for half a day, Gumza's feet were a little sore, so Weijin conveniently took a bandage and wrapped it for her, and Gumza wanted to return to their first love again. The two looked at each other and remembered the scene from that year. Also on this occasion, both of them held each other and kissed affectionately. But now that's just a memory of the past. At dinner, Gumza was too craving to drink alcohol, so she looked at the guest at the next table and imagined herself drinking a delicious glass of wine. But because Weijin was here, she couldn't drink at all. Still curious about why Weijin quit drinking, he didn't answer but asked her where she got so much money that she was spending so terribly today. "Did you rob a bank?" She admitted that she really had money, and if she had money, she had to spend it to the fullest. She had just vented her feelings when, after being asked too many times, Gumza whispered that this money was from the wedding deposit after the cancellation of the marriage. Seeing her laughing and talking happily, Weijin immediately asked if there was anything to be happy about this. Gumza said that anyway she had cancelled the wedding, so her mood would be terrible. If it's terrible and you get compensated, what could be better? Isn't it better to spend it to feel better? I thought she would be happy for me, but Weijin blamed her instead as if he was the one whose wedding got called off. "You're so happy about getting that money? Don't you think about the people who were hurt because of you?" After saying that, he left, leaving Gumzu feeling frustrated and confused. Meanwhile, in that year, when Ui Dun was about to confess to Gumzu, he overheard her saying she saw him as just a friend after all these years, making Gumza feel insecure, timid, and hurt. That's why he said those things to Gumza just now. The next day, while brushing her teeth, Gumza was suddenly called out by her mother, only to find her father and sister kneeling in the corner. The fact that they went drinking in the neighboring village was not discovered until her mother found a clothing receipt on her table. As a result, her mother called the district to inquire about the shop and found out that last night at 9 p.m., three fathers and sons came here to eat and drink lavishly and spend a lot. When asked if she was sure, the owner said that she could never forget a customer who spent so much at her shop. So she, the mother, decided to leave home, telling the three fathers and sons to never see her again. Not wanting Mama Bon to leave, the three fathers and sons begged their mother to fulfill any request she had. So the three fathers and sons were kicked out instead of her leaving because this was originally her house. So to atone for their sins, the three fathers and sons went to do a repentance retreat at Ba Vang Pagoda. News of the three fathers and sons being caught red-handed and then going to practice religion spread throughout Bochuan village. Meanwhile, Zebom's mother kept bad-mouthing the three fathers and sons to Ui Dun, unaware that Grandma was lying next to her, hearing everything. As a result, Grandma decided to stop giving exemptions to this village. Truly, the mouth is a curse to the body. Despite going to practice religion, even the sound of water flowing down the stream made the three fathers and sons think of sitting at a drinking table raising sorrowful glasses. Truly, what's in the blood is hard to give up, until Gumzu got her phone back and received a message from the previous annulment center. Meanwhile, Ui Dun was in the clinic, lost in old thoughts, when he received a notification that someone needed emergency care, and immediately set off to take the patient to Seoul. Upon arriving in Seoul, a man caught Ui Dun's attention who turned out to be Gumza's ex-husband looking at the ultrasound of his child with his newlywed wife. After seeing the message, he realized that the person in the photo who was supposed to be Gumza's husband is now someone else's husband, and he immediately regretted the things he said to Gumzu. How could I say such hurtful things? Meanwhile, Gumza received news and called the annulment center back. Her ex-husband had changed the bride to someone else, causing Gumza to burst into tears. She ironically realized she was happy to spend the refund money from her ex-husband. Fate sure likes to play tricks on people. Gumza was also absent from the retreat the next day. Ui Dun went to find her and saw her sitting in a corner of the temple crying. Remembering her words, "You must be heartbroken from love to come back here, right?" Seeing Ui Dun standing in front of her, Gumza stumbled weakly and cried even louder, wishing she could die. Ui Dun could only sit there and comfort his first love. Back to half an hour earlier, when the three fathers and sons were preparing to continue the retreat, they heard Gumza's voice drinking alcohol, so the two went to the corner to join. "Why are you drinking without calling us?" As a result, the three of them clinked glasses together. "Let's drink our fill today and stop tomorrow." Meanwhile, Ui Dun and Gumza's mother also went to the pagoda to see how things were. Seeing their mother, the three of them ran as if being chased by a tiger, so the father decided to sacrifice himself so his two children could escape. As a result, Gumza suddenly thought of her ex-husband. That's why Ui Dun came to comfort her, and she burst into tears. Suddenly it started to rain. Ui Dun covered his first love with his coat. She looked so pitiful. Wondering why Ui Dun was here, it turned out he came to return the things she bought the night before, bringing the things into the house. Gumza's mother saw it and asked what all this stuff was. Gumza then said that she saw the whole family living too hard, so she spent a little for the family. "I also saw that they went to rehab but still drink. I myself am too pathetic. I really can't live without alcohol." She told her mother not to stop her from drinking. She only told the truth, ignoring her sister and father's persuasion. As a result, her mother wasn't angry at all, but she was calm. She firmly believed that Gumza could quit drinking. The three of them were surprised because this time their mother didn't get mad. It's really a once-in-a-lifetime event. As for Ui Dun over here, he heard the head nurse and his friend Zoan UC badmouthing Gumzu. "Why go to rehab and still drink?" He immediately defended her, saying if you don't know anything, don't talk about her like that. Remembering Gumza's vulnerable state, Ui Dun decided to do a test to see how addicted she was to alcohol. Unexpectedly, she drank on Tuesday, drank on Wednesday, and drank on Thursday. She drank all weekend, making Ui Dun feel a little helpless. To the question of how many times have you felt guilty or regretful for drinking alcohol? Of course, Gumza's answer was no regrets. To the question of whether anyone has ever expressed concern about your alcohol addiction. For this question, there must be no shortage of relatives nagging her. The result is a total of more than 20 points, showing that Gumzu is dependent on alcohol. Ui Dun advised her to get treatment. Gumzu said no. "How can I quit when I'm already addicted? If that's the case, then every Korean citizen would be addicted. I'm just someone who enjoys alcohol in moderation." After saying that, she left. As for his friend, Zoan UC, while walking with her home, she saw a poster advertising her idol. It's not easy for Lean UOC to see Bom Dun singing live in Bochuan. Zoan UC imagined himself with Hondu, holding hands intimately like a real loving couple. Only him and her around. Hondu is determined to get a ticket no matter what. After returning home, Gumdu's mother informed the whole family. Tonight, Ui Jun will give a lecture on alcohol rehabilitation at the district office. Everyone remember to go. Gumdu resolutely told her mother not to stop her from drinking alcohol. "It's a waste of effort, you can't stop me." Her mother immediately turned to her father and warned him. "I've written the divorce papers, you better watch yourself." Because I'm afraid of my mother, everyone in the family had to go see Ui Jun's lecture. Gum-do, during the lecture, fantasized about getting drunk and being carried in Ui Jun's arms. She couldn't help but blurt out, "Sleep with me." Doing that to him would definitely cut off the relationship immediately. After the lecture, she thought he mobilized his whole family to take revenge for the day she was drunk. Ui Jun said, "If I wanted to take revenge, I'd rather sue you for money. The whole family is addicted to alcohol." Gum-lean begged her mother to not make the three fathers and sons go to the lecture anymore because it's not effective. The result, as you can guess, is that the three fathers and sons were chased by their mother again. The next day, Gum-do was at Song-eung's shop, appraising a car for an acquaintance. There's a broker who wants to scam the seller, but Gumza found out that this car was both unmaintained and flooded. As a result, the scammer lost his customer right in front of him and was called a scammer. He immediately grabbed Gumza by the neck and threw her to the ground, unable to stand being bullied. Gumzu grabbed the cart and almost hit the scammer, causing him to fall, damage his car, and lie on the ground yelling. To extort money, he took Gumza to the clinic. Coincidentally, this is Gumza's first love, so no matter how much this guy exaggerates his injuries and demands an injury certificate to sue, Ui Dun said that falling like this is normal and not serious at all. He was dumbfounded. Ui Dun continued, saying that someone like her is the one who should get an injury confirmation. Coming here for a checkup is worth the money, unlike someone else. As for Zoan Yusi, in order to find tickets to go to the music show with his crush, he searched online and received news that the seller would sell them cheaply in front of Buchuan Elementary School. Whoever gets there first gets them. Coincidentally, Song-eung is also looking for music show tickets, so both of them rushed out, determined to get the tickets. Zoan Yusi arrived first. Unexpectedly, the ticket seller was a student in the course he taught. The student asked, "Teacher, are you buying tickets for your first love? I'm really surprised by you, teacher. To support you in having love, I'll sell it to you cheaply." Zoan Yusi didn't forget to tell his student not to tell anyone. After that, he did a few celebratory moves for getting tickets to the music show with the person he likes. Who knew that in the evening he would forget the tickets, which his friend Song-eung saw. Zoan Yusi then admitted that he likes Hongdu. As for Ui Jun, he felt sorry for Gumza's injuries from earlier that day. He stopped by Song-eung's car repair shop to give her some food, using the excuse that there were too many leftovers, so he took them. In fact, Ui Jun went all the way to the sushi restaurant to pack fresh food just for Gumza to eat. While eating, Gumzu muttered, "It would be great with some alcohol. No matter how pathetic I am, I can't give up alcohol. It's like Saint Zio, wherever he goes, the sun shines. But wherever I go, it just rains and gets everyone wet." Seeing that Gumza was still in pain, Ui Dun felt sorry, saying he hoped her pain wouldn't last long. The next day, Zoan Yusi went to a restaurant, finally getting a chance to confess to the person he likes, who knew his older sister would come, thinking her younger brother needed something and giving him a bouquet. His sister then gave him a card for an Aliokaniat buffet as thanks, making his friend Zoan Yusi break down crying because he couldn't get Hongdu out to talk about dating. Turns out his friend Song-eung was playing tricks, telling his wife, who is Zoan Yusi's older sister, to come out for a meeting, preventing this friend from dating his friend's sister. That's wrong. Zoan Yusi angrily said that he's also in love with his friend's sister. That's really messed up. The next day, while cleaning the house, the father found a letter congratulating his daughter. But now that his daughter has called off the engagement, he sadly took it out to the trash outside to throw away. At this moment at the dining table, although he didn't see his daughter, he tried his best to stay calm, not to be sad, and sat down to eat with his wife and children. He didn't know Gumza had discovered that colored paper and went to the lakeside to read it. Father's speech. "You are my precious daughter. Yet today you're giving me another son. Gumzu, I'm counting on you. My daughter has had a hard time because of this incompetent father. I hope you will always be filled with happiness and laughter." Ui Dun witnessed Gumzu bursting into tears from the side. Suddenly, a call came from the event organizer. The wedding car came to Buchuan village to pick everyone up for a celebratory drink in Seoul. Gumza's mother was immediately embarrassed and cursed at her as soon as she arrived. "Leave, I don't have a daughter like you." The neighbors wondered why she didn't cancel anything. Fortunately, Ui Dun ran after Gumzu at this moment, saying that he was the one who told Gumza not to cancel it. He turned to blame. "Why didn't you tell everyone?" "I told you to tell everyone that you would organize a trip for the old folks in the village for a picnic." After speaking, he pulled Gumzu into the car, successfully escaped the embarrassment in front of the villagers. In the car, Ui Dun apologized. "Don't mind me saying that." But halfway there, Gumza stopped the car. She told Dun to get out and told Uncle Tai to go to the appointment point first. Meanwhile, at home, Hoenzu was confiding in Sun Ha. Sun Yu's older sister, she complained that getting tickets to the music show currently seems quite difficult. But looking at the children, she stopped wanting to go to the music show and blamed herself. If I didn't get drunk all the time and go out for drinks and then leave my husband, Gumzu wouldn't have to fall into a situation like mine. Sun Yu happened to overhear Hoenzu's heart. Sun Yu said if you go out there now, your sister will pour you drinks. He decided to give up the ticket he got for Sun Yu, telling him that he should go with his sister instead because they are husband and wife. As for Gumzu, after arriving at her ex-husband's wedding, she grabbed a bottle of alcohol and jumped up and smashed it straight into someone's wedding. Information about her on the newspaper quickly spread and her mother fainted after seeing it. But this is just her imagination. Gumzu really can't do this. Meanwhile, in order to chase after her, Dun followed her all the way from Buchuan to Seoul. But he couldn't find Gumzu at her ex-boyfriend's wedding. At this moment, it started to rain. Gumzu walked from street to street with a sad mood. She didn't stop to think until she reached a bridge. Who will hold an umbrella for me? By some miracle, Dun found Gumzu. Sheltering her from the rain made Gumzu weakly ask, "Can you be my umbrella until the end?" He immediately called her whole family for blood tests, and took measures to help the whole family quit alcohol. He warned the family that if they continued to drink alcohol, they would develop liver cancer or cirrhosis. So, from the time they returned home, the three fathers and sons started looking for their hidden alcohol and put it in front of their mother. When it was Gumzu's turn, everyone was surprised because they didn't expect her to hide alcohol in her cosmetics. It's a hiding place that no one would expect. However, Wang Okong-oi still felt happy because the three of them were now determined to give up alcohol. That's good then. Admittedly, Hoenzu Hon-du seems to have lost a few pounds after only a few weeks of quitting. The father started reading books with a clear mind. As for Gumzu, she always had a cheerful and smiling face in front of everyone. Thinking that life would be happy like that, everyone loved it because there was no alcohol. In the evening, Dun called Gumzu out to help her stay away from alcohol. But Gumzu said how can she stay away when everywhere she looks, there are people drinking. At home, opening the phone, she sees alcohol. On Lutop, she also sees alcohol. How can I quit? Dun said, let's run. It turns out that running here, he meant jogging. Running away from temptations after a tiring run. Gumzu then asked Dun how she could quit drinking when she was already addicted. He then told her about the method of abstaining for a little bit. Starting with abstaining for just 10 minutes, then an hour, then a day, and so on. That's what I did to quit drinking. Try hard for a week. To reward her, Dun promised to do anything she wanted. Hearing that, Gumzu said, give me all your assets then. But she realized that it's fortunate that she'll have guests staying at her house on the weekend, so she'll be drinking a lot. How can she endure it? Hearing that, Dun immediately messaged his high school friends group chat that night, asking everyone to go to a place without alcohol to help Gumzu escape the temptation. Turns out, what he meant was going to the wildflower conservation area. Drinking alcohol is prohibited here, just like what Dun said. At this moment, Gumzu told everyone not to underestimate her. And Dun also has to keep his promise to do anything she wants. So the four of them had an outdoor picnic where there wasn't a single drop of alcohol. Until lunchtime. Because they ran out of water, Dun and Song Ung volunteered to get it. Zoan Yusi asked if Dun was no longer angry at him. Even if it's just abstaining from alcohol for a week, he'll do anything. He's taking care of her so well. Gumzu didn't want to hear about the old things that had passed, so she left first as well. Meanwhile, at home, Gwenhui was busy when an old friend came to rent a room. It wasn't until Gwenhui introduced herself as the secretary of the Zongdo Corporation that her friend Zongjin realized that she was the famous beauty queen in the area back then. They were happy to meet their old friend again. Just as Gwenhui brought drinks to the two of them, Gwenhui overheard her friend badmouthing her to her lover. Her ex-husband made a big hit on the stock market. Then he evaded a huge amount of money and was arrested. Moreover, she's a divorced woman with 2 children. Gwenhui suddenly felt extremely ashamed of herself. As for Zoan Yusi, he was excitedly filming a video for Gwenhui. Making Song Ung tease, you should come next time, it'll be so much fun. He asked Zoan Yusi, what are you planning to do? She's your sister's friend. If your sister finds out, you're dead. Just as they were about to argue, Gumzu and Dun returned. The 2 friends acted like nothing happened, took a selfie, and enjoyed the mountain scenery. Nobody answered each other. Dun then asked Gumzu, you're very grateful, aren't you? Remember that you're only here because of me. So give up drinking. You can do it. Her longing gaze resembled hers from all those years ago, when Dun encouraged her just like now. She then recounted how she had just remembered the story from that year between them. It's actually a little touching. Afraid that climbing the mountain would make Gumza sweat and catch a cold, Dun gently pulled up her jacket for her, continuing to make Gumza reminisce about the memories of that year. But in the end, Gumza was left alone. Meanwhile, at home, the father, Jiangsu, was tempted by his drinking buddies. I bet 1,000,000 you can't quit drinking for a month. Coincidentally, Wang Okong Oi passed by. She called Jaibum, the child of her friend. Forcing this house to pay off all its debts today made Jaibum's father a little worried and asked, "What are you doing? What else can I do besides collecting debts?" Then Jaibum's mother rushed over. "You've really gone too far, Jiangsu. You deserve to be envied." Meanwhile, the quartet of best friends were also on their way home after a tiring mountain climb. Jiangsu suggested going to eat and calling Song Ung to wake up. But looking back, they had already forgotten Song Ung at the conservation area. So they turned back to pick up Song Ung. He somehow bumped into a reversing car, to the point of being hospitalized for a twisted neck. It turned out that Song Ung went wandering off to pick chestnuts for his wife, forgetting the time. What a virtuous husband. In the evening, while eating some dried snacks to celebrate their first day without alcohol, Jiangsu received a message. So the next morning, she came to inform Dun, making him wonder why she was partying when she was on leave. She then showed him the message that Mr. Kim had just been promoted. He wanted to invite Jiangsu to join. It's obvious that it's to provoke someone as hardworking as Jiangsu who will never be able to compare. In the previous company, Jiangsu was known as a workaholic. However, what's the use of being good at working and drinking, when all efforts are discriminated against by gender and bribery? Meanwhile, at the hospital, Xian Yu's sister told him to go to the upcoming concert with Xian Hui. Her husband is like this, so he can't go anymore. The younger brother agreed very quickly but was stopped by his best friend, so Xian Yu also retorted. The sister turned around and said, "Why are you getting angry? This is your brother-in-law." Song Ung saw his friend take the ticket and felt worried. What if he has some intention and doesn't treat you like his sister? Xian Hoa was wondering what was going on when she received a call and had to go out. Xian Yu leaned in and said, "What is this brother-in-law planning to do?" The brother-in-law didn't give in and said, "Quickly handle your work, you crazy brother-in-law. The good thing is that they both like to fly the plane the same." As for Dun, he was worried about Gumzu. She was about to have a company party, so he came to ask if Gumzu had any plans. She said that if someone invited her, she would say, "I've been drinking, so I can't drive. I came by beer today, so please understand." Dun encouraged her to just drink and call a driver. Even though she's taking traditional medicine, drinking alcohol will only make it worse. But Gumzu is still very conflicted. Dun directly advised her to just say she's quitting alcohol. They'll come at this moment. Zoan Xian Yu and his sister Hon Rui Huin Tui went to the music show. Coincidentally, just as Zoan Xian Yu went to get tickets, Hon Rui Huin Tui met an old colleague from Seoul who came to greet her. But when she's the main character, telling people she has someone by her side is even happier, right? Just as Zoan Xian Yu ran back, Xian Huin Hui took his arm. Telling him that this is her current boyfriend made him a little excited. Xian Xuan, a friend of Zoan, wondered why he heard her calling him sister mama. Xian Huin Hui said she's dating Hong Haini, who is 5 years younger than her. Is there a problem? These two teased her and left first because they were in a hurry. As for Zoan Xian Yu, his life is blooming because he was suddenly recognized as her boyfriend. Secretly happy. But sister Xian Huin Hui said she's been in the bathroom for so long, and he can't find her. Zoan Xian Yu went to look for her and found her sitting alone in the park, drinking to relieve her sorrows. He asked, and she said it's because she's too ashamed, she has no face to show. She's in no mood to go to the concert anymore. Zoan Xian Yu smiles bitterly. He told her she's the most beautiful person among those going to the concert. She's very beautiful and elegant. Making Xian Huin Hui couldn't help but kiss him. Zoan Xian Yu also didn't miss the opportunity to go and kiss sister Xian Huin Hui directly. Sister Xian Huin Hui suddenly woke up and said she's really crazy. As for Gumzu, she was also taken by Dun to the company's party. He didn't forget to remind her to call him if anything happens. At this time, Dun told her about the story that year that he heard from her and her friend. Just because Gumza saw him as a friend, he thought she didn't like him. That's why he left his hometown and moved to another place. Gumza had no idea that she had accidentally hurt Dun. Dun also said that back then, he only had his self-esteem, so he decided to leave like that. Now we can talk like this because the feelings from that year are gone. making Gumza feel a little let down. But in reality, back in that year, when Dun was alone and preparing things to confess to Gumzu, her alcoholic father came to see him, forcing Dun to pay his debt or he would come and find her. It was because of this that Dun decided to leave home and go somewhere else, just not wanting his father to do something that would implicate Gumzu. He cried a lot since that day. In the evening, because she found out about what happened that year, Gumzu couldn't sleep, blaming herself for being so silly that time. So the next morning, when Gumza woke up, she was staggering down the street, making everyone think she had given up on quitting alcohol. Gumza went straight to Dun's house, borrowing the courage from that year to confess, "I liked you too. You should have confessed 10 years ago." Hearing that, Dun pinned her against the wall. Just as he was about to kiss her, Gumzu suddenly woke up and fell to the ground. It turned out it was just a dream. So she immediately ran to the clinic to see Dun, asking him if quitting alcohol had symptoms like this. Dun said it depends on the person, some are severe, some are mild. Some people feel weak, hot and cold. Some people can't help but do crazy things like Ms. Duan Hui accidentally kissing young Zoan Yusi. Meanwhile, young Zoan Yusi, because he was kissed by the person he likes, sang like a cow all morning. Making Song Ung's head hurt and his ears deaf, he couldn't stand it. He wondered if he was going to propose to someone, not just go to a music show. Zoan Yusi laughed like he wanted to dislocate his jaw, saying he should go to the comedy challenge show. I don't even know what's funny about it. After the examination, Gumzu and Dun went to eat, and the porridge shop owner invited them with a serving of makgeolli. Dun tried a sip and said he quite liked it. Somehow, Gumzu felt like she was on cloud 9. The words "I like you" kept echoing in her head, making her unable to concentrate and spill her water. She wondered if this was a symptom of alcohol withdrawal. At the Hanak Village Council meeting, Debun's mother was listing the village's fun list and suddenly switched to the topic of the Chinese noodle shop owner's daughter getting married before Gumzu. While Gumzu used to be so confident about getting into university and getting married first, but now she hasn't gotten married yet. Gumzu's mother wasn't angry either, saying that capable people don't need to get married first. She's so outstanding that the company gave her a long vacation. Too bad no one believed it and said, "Maybe your daughter has been replaced by the company a long time ago." This made her feel suspicious too. Meanwhile, at home, Gumzu's friend from the company called to inform her that Section Chief Kim didn't come to work today. Probably hasn't sobered up since the drunken incident yesterday. Gumzu said that if he's still the boss, this time I'm really going to make a scene. Just then, Gumzu's mother came back and heard it. She threw her shoe at Gumzu and asked if she really quit her job. Gumzu immediately threw her mother's shoe into the doghouse to celebrate. "It's in, Mom." She blamed Gumzu for acting like this with her superiors, which is why she quit her job, right? Gumzu told her mother not to worry. "I didn't do anything wrong this time." Then she told Gumzu not to rent a house in Seoul anymore, but to go up there from here. Gumzu wondered it takes 5 hours to get there from here. "Time is gold and silver, Mom." Wang Ok said you're better off not wasting gold and silver in bars. Gumzu challenged her mother that if this goes on, they'll really drink alcohol. "I'm tired of the withdrawal symptoms, so leave me alone." After saying that and returning to her room, that hateful section chief Kim sent her a photo, saying he has an injury certificate and witnesses. "Prepare yourself to be sued civilly and administratively." So Gumza cursed him without missing a single word. While celebrating her victory, Gumza later sent the section chief the recording of him intentionally harassing her. Now let's see who's preparing to be sued in court. Making section chief Kim upset because he lost money on hospital bills and got nothing out of it. As for Xian Hui Huin Tui after yesterday, she couldn't look Xian Yusi in the eye, making him a little embarrassed. She was going to use the excuse of being drunk, but Xian Yusi said that he couldn't ignore what happened last night. "I can still feel your lips clearly, so let's just be comfortable with each other." But Xian Hui's Huin Tui expression seemed very awkward about this. When Gumza got home, she saw her sister acting distant. She immediately asked if her sister was also uncomfortable about quitting alcohol. She immediately advised her sister to see Jun for treatment, and suddenly Wang Okong Oi carried a suitcase outside, saying she would leave home and go to Seoul to meet friends and have fun. Ignoring what the three fathers and sons wanted to do, Gumza thought her mother was too much. The three of them didn't know what to do when a group of tourists came to rent because they had booked a room here in advance. Gumzu immediately told her sister that she was the owner here and ran out to the vacant lot to be lazy. Unexpectedly, she ran into the remote-controlled drone of the head nurse at Jun's clinic. The nurse came in front of Gumzu, telling her that she was an eyesore who ruined other people's happiness. "Why do you always have to come at lunchtime and eat together? What do you want to do with my village's Saint Zio?" Gumzu innocently said that Jun was the one who called her out. Even the night run was his call. Why are you blaming me? So the head nurse used the drone to help Gumza run to quit alcohol instead of June, making her tired from running. I went to sit in the park. Gumza complained to Rong why the head nurse was so hostile to her. As Rong knows, the head nurse has always been by June's side like a nanny. Since he left Seoul and moved back here, the head nurse also actively applied for a transfer to work with June, just like a mother and child. Suddenly June called, telling Gumza to come running with him. But when she got there, Gumza complained, saying she had already run this afternoon and wouldn't run anymore, thanks to your head nurse. Someone takes care of him like their own child, and my child is ignored by his mother. Life is really unfair. June said it was because of him. This morning, Gumza's mother came to see him, asking him because she didn't know what her purpose in life was these days. June advised Wang Ok-ong Oe to go to Seoul for a trip to have fun, just to relieve stress. June said that she puts on a strong face in front of you, but she's also very tired. So treat mom a little better. Meanwhile, in Seoul, even though she went out with her friend, Mrs. Wang Ok-ong Oe didn't show any sign of being happy or talkative. While she was sad, Gumza suddenly texted her to apologize for worrying her all this time. She also transferred 500,000 won to her and told her to have fun and enjoy herself. Mrs. Wang Ok-ong Oe was immediately happy when she saw that her child had grown up and was giving her money. So, she immediately bragged to her friend, saying, "I'm paying for the drinks, and he'll pay for everyone to go to karaoke." The next day, while on her way to the market, Jin Hui-chan Hui ran into Xian Swon Yu's older sister and suddenly felt quite embarrassed. The two went to eat fish cakes on a stick, and Xian Swon Hoa talked about how the child of the Chinese noodle shop owner got married and she didn't know when her younger brother would get married. She just hoped that the person he married would be younger than him. Xian Swon Hui seemed to have a lump in her throat when the neighbors came to tease Xian Swon Hoa. She was the one who stole their golden son, Song-ung, and now she's here setting standards. Anyone who heard it would think Xian Swon is such a great guy. Ms. Jin Hui-chan Hui next to her felt a little disheartened after hearing that, so she left with Xian Swon Hoa. As for Gumzu and Ui Dun on the side, they were on their way to the clinic when a truck kept honking to overtake them. When the truck overtook them, they deliberately dropped a box of goods, causing Ui Dun's car to almost have an accident. Luckily, the two managed to brake in time, causing Ui Dun to only have a slight injury to his shoulder. While Gumza was applying medicine for Ui Dun, the two almost kissed, but it must be admitted, with such a beautiful body, it would be strange if Gumza didn't like him. As for Xian Swon he kept texting Ms. Hon Dui Huin Tui but didn't get a reply, until his junior came in and brought the belongings of Ms. Hon Dui Huin Tui's two children, saying that she wouldn't let her children study here anymore. Xian Swon knew that she was deliberately avoiding him. The spring in him suddenly disappeared at night when he got home. Ui Dun kept thinking about the accident he had today and felt a little suspicious. Even in his dreams, he saw a familiar figure running to harm Gumzu. He seemed to be haunted by the shadow of that person. Meanwhile, while Gumzu was fixing her car, she discovered a traffic ticket that matched the date of her wedding that she had booked. She asked and found out that on that day, a car had blocked the groom's car on her wedding day, causing them to miss their honeymoon trip, which made them very upset. Gumzu just realized that Ui Dun knew about her canceling the wedding a long time ago. What a fool she is. Passing by the bar, Gumza suddenly wanted to have a drink because she was too mistaken about many things. But remembering how sad her mother was, she quickly returned home to see her. But unexpectedly, her mother looked like she wasn't happy. She just collapsed on Gumzu, making her panic.